It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is For Positive Book. I have another book haul for you. I can't say no to pretty books. I can't say no to special editions and sprayed edges, and that's what I did today. I have 22 books to talk to you about and 12 of them have sprayed edges or are a special edition of some kind. So I just like pretty books. But first let's talk about our TBR tackle number. If you watched my big unhaul, my reorganization, you know that I had 219 unread books on my shelves. In the month of October, I read 14 of the books off of my shelves, which is great, which means I'm at 205 theoretically. I don't actually know that that's the right number. We'll figure it out in January because that's when I do a reset. So 205. Much better. But I'm about to add a bunch more books. Look, I have room on my shelves now because I got rid of a bunch of books. Let's start with the special editions. That's why you're all here. I will tell you at the end which ones counted towards my TBR, which ones didn't, because a lot of these are like duplicates. Like I bought a special edition or I bought a separate book for like just to replace the regular edition that I have. We'll start with our beautiful editions of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. These are the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. They have the absolutely gorgeous sprayed edges. They're stunning. Like the foiling, it's not going to pick up on camera, but like all of this is foiled. It's so pretty. This is what the naked hardcover looks like. Not as like pretty as I've seen some special editions. That one's just the same but in red. However, the end papers, so pretty. This is a book series that has been like all over the internet recently. It's a I don't know if she's a witch, question mark, I don't know. It has, I think, tarot magic, if I remember correctly. I may be getting my stories mixed up, but I do know that there's like a monster that lives in her head, and that's a cool trope. I already own the paperback versions of these. They're already counted in that 219, so they're not gonna count. I picked up the new special edition of Desperate Measures by Katee Robert. They are getting all new covers, which I am so excited for because, I mean, like, look at the glow up. Look at the glow up. These are coming out super slow. I think only the next two will be coming out in 2025, so I will be slowly replacing them. But for now, like she's beautiful, she's stunning. And I kind of want to reread these because in this edition we have like authors' annotations as like footnotes. Kind of want to read it. It's been several years since I've read this book. I also picked up the Walmart edition of Fireborn. This one is going to have the sprayed edges like this, and then the second and third one come out I think in December. So I will like replace my normal copies with these, mostly because I'm very mad that Fury Song doesn't match like the size. So hopefully with these sprayed edges they will all match. Flamefall is going to have blue sprayed edges, and then Fury Song has green sprayed edges. This was one of my favorite books of 2023, so couldn't say no to that. Then I got The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. I actually just read this for my Scatagorathon vlog earlier this month, and then I also talked about it in my wrap up last week. Here's the thing, I only gave this book 3 stars. I feel like it was kind of boring. There wasn't a lot that happened in this book. I won't be continuing the series, but this book is going to stay as a shelf trophy because it's gorgeous. I mean, first off, the stunning sprayed edition, beautiful gold. This is where she really shines though. Like, and this isn't even like an exclusive edition. I got this at Barnes & Noble. Then we have the Fairy Loot edition of Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. This I have already read. I just haven't continued on with the series, but I have read this first one. I really hope that Fairy Loot makes the special editions of the rest of this. I don't know that they will, but it would be really cool. Like, she's stunning. These are gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast retelling where the beast, instead of being a beast, is for fae princes. And it is poly, so I guess it's not really just a Why Choose, it's a poly romance because some of the men have relationships with themselves. This is a really interesting world. It starts out very much like a beat for beat Beauty and the Beast story. You have the Gaston character. You have the father who goes out into the woods, gets lost, stumbles into the castle, that kind of thing. But the second half of the book definitely takes a turn. It's very different. They're trying to break a curse. It's a whole thing. And I really want to continue on with the series. I just haven't had time to do it yet, but it's gonna happen. Last of the special editions that are not going to be adding to the TBR, my pride and joy, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Look how gorgeous she is. It's the normal front cover that, you know, that we've seen on the normal one, but It's this like beautiful, it just says all my love, Evelyn. And then it has the sprayed editions with the 7 rings. And then that is the end pages. This book made me a reader. This book made me who I am as a person. This book, honestly, I'm like being 100% serious, this book is the reason I came out as bisexual, because I thought it was normal to have the thoughts that I was having because I grew up so sheltered and conservative, and I just like, oh, okay, that's just like how everybody feels. And then she says something to Celia, and it was like, oh, that's the definition of bisexuality, and that's who I am. That's the thoughts in my head. So I know that there are legitimate critiques of this book, but this is a book that means so much to me personally. It's the 4th copy that I own now. All right, now let's do some damage to the TBR number. I did in fact go pick up The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. This is a like fantasy horror blend. I wanted to read it during spooky season. I didn't quite get to it, but it has gorgeous sprayed edges. Hazel Trepus has always known she wasn't like her siblings. A 13th child, promised to one of the gods, she spends her childhood waiting for her benefactor, Merrick, the god of death, to arrive and take her away. When he does, he lays out exactly what he's planned for Hazel's future. She will become a great and celebrated healer. To aid her endeavors, Merrick blesses Hazel with a gift, the ability to instantly deduce the exact cure needed to treat the sick. But all gifts come with a price. I really liked Small Favors. Is that the one that came out several years ago that has like the gold cover? I can't remember. I really liked it. I like her writing style. So I had to pick this up. Like I said, I can't say no to sprayed edges. I just can't. Ooh, okay, here's the fun thing. When you take off a dust jacket and the naked hardcover looks like this, I almost want to take this off and just leave it like this. I unboxed this one in one of my vlogs, but I picked up the bindery special edition of House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. This looks very TJ Klune inspired. It's about a witch who is grieving the loss of her sister. She goes to this house. There is a very eclectic group of people. A warm and hopeful story of a lonely witch consumed by grief who discovers a whimsical cast of characters in a magical arboretum. Listen, cozy is not necessarily something I always love. However, there are some really good ones out there, and I think it's like a right book, right time kind of thing. And as we go into the long winter months where seasonal depression is a thing, cozy books are going to be something that I'm going to be drawn to at some point. I also picked up a Bloodguard by C.C. Robson. This is a gladiator fae romantasy, which sounds very unique, very different from your normal romantasy. 100 years, tens of thousands of gladiators, and today one will rise. Everything in the kingdom of Arrow is a lie. Laith of Grey thought coming to this new land and volunteering to fight in the gladiator arena, vicious bloodthirsty tournaments where only the strongest survive, would earn him enough gold to save his dying sister. He thought there was nothing left to lose. He was wrong, and they took everything. His hope, his freedom, his very humanity. All Laith has left is his battle-scarred body, fueled by rage and hardened from years of fighting for the right to live another day. Then Laith meets Maeve, I can't speak this morning, an elven royal who is everything he despises, everything he should hate, until the alluring princess offers him the one thing he needs most, a chance to win the coveted title of Bloodguard and his freedom. But in a kingdom built on secrets and lies, hope doesn't come cheap, nor will his ultimate revenge. Stunning. This is a book that has been like anticipated by many for a very long time, and it kept getting pushed back. I love when my battery dies when I'm in the middle of talking. This has been an anticipated read for so many people. It was pushed back several times, and it finally came out a couple weeks ago. I got my Illumicrate and my Afterlight books for October. I had debated skipping them. They were books I had never heard of before, but they sounded interesting, so I don't know. We'll see. The Illumicrate one was Until We Shatter by Kate Dillon. This is a YA heist fantasy, which sounds exciting. It was comped as like for fans of Six of Crows, which is, you know, fun. It's also like super purple, which is really pretty. These end covers, gorgeous, and this is stunning. It was blurbed by both Tasha Suri and Hannah Kaner, both authors that I haven't loved in the past. I don't know how I feel about that. It does look like it's going to have some sort of like politics and religion, which is exciting because it says no matter where she goes, Semi's life is under threat. The church would see her killed for having any magic. The Council of Shades wants her dead for not having enough. So it is one that I am like curious about, very intrigued by. And then we have Best Hex Ever by Nadia El Fassi. She is a half Moroccan, half Australian author. I don't know if this is a debut. I can't remember. Her author note is adorable. She has an addiction to iced coffee, period dramas, buying D&D dice, and watching horror movies. Debut novel. That's exciting. When it comes to love, sometimes the recipe needs a little magic. Diana is a skilled kitchen witch. Scott is a museum curator. It looks like it's going to be like a little bit of an opposites attract. Can Dinah break the spell before it breaks both of their hearts? Also, I just need to point out that this naked hardcover is so gorgeous. I actually like took an Instagram picture just with this right here for Halloween, and people were like, what is that book? And I was like, oh, it's the naked hardcover. So because this is actually like the spell book that is in the book. I really love these covers that look like it's like an entire scene out of the book. Afterlight is really good about doing that. And then we have this as the front end page and this one as the back. This looks really cute. I don't know that I will read it until next spooky season. Witchy rom-coms are very hit or miss for me, but we'll see if this one gets some good reviews before next year. But until then, I'll probably sit on the shelf. All right, those are the special editions. Now let's get into the other ones where I was just like, add to cart. I did a book shopping vlog. It was the first time that I've ever tried to do like a voiceover for my like book shopping adventures, and it went really well. But I did also buy 3 books in that. First one was American Rapture by CJ Lead. I did actually read this one during my week of Scatagorathon. This one I gave 4 stars. It's fantastic. It's this like dystopian nightmare of a story. My only complaint with it is that I think that it read a little bit too YA to be marketed as an adult horror. And then the 2 that I have not read yet, The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. This is her newest release, and it's about like a woman who is like dating this new guy. He's a doctor. He seems like he's this great person, but then also there is a serial killer on the loose that matches his description, and like things might be a little too good to be true. And then Between Dragons and Their Wrath by Devin Madsen. This is an epic fantasy that has been on my radar for a really long time, and it was on the BOGO table. I needed another BOGO. You know how it is. This seems like it's going to be like a very political fantasy story. I would really love to get back into epic fantasy. Right now, Romantasy has my entire heart and soul, and I'm okay with that, but at some point I would like to start reading normal fantasy books again. Then I have the new Ashley Herring Blake book, Make the Season Bright. This is her Christmas romance. I think what I'm going to do is make this my Christmas Day read. I always pick a book for Christmas Day and read the whole thing in one day. And because our family does stuff on Christmas Eve, so we don't normally do anything on Christmas Day. We stay home, we like, you know, we watch football. It's just a quiet, usually snowy day. And I've always like picked a Christmassy type story, and I think that this year it's going to be this one. I have plans for this, it's just not there yet. And then I picked up the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of House of Sky and Bereft. I thought I would be done with these books. I read the first one, I didn't love it, but I know that House of Flame and Shadow is going to be on the Romantasy Awards for 2024, and so I was like, well, I need to get caught up. And then I found these on Pango for really cheap. That like is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and I'm hoping that once the 3rd book is in paperback, they'll have this. Hopefully I like the series enough to want to continue reading and hold on to it. I don't know, I've heard such mixed things. There are so many people that do not like that series anymore, but then there are some people that are just still absolutely in love with it. I'm so nervous. I bought another copy of The Marriage Effect by Carla Sorensen. I accidentally bought the discreet cover of this one, whereas I had the People cover for the other 2, and so it didn't match, and so I found this one very cheap on Pango. So again, not counting as my on my TBR number. I just wanted all my books to match. And then I bought a finished copy of The Brightness Between Us by Elliot Schreffer. I did already have an ARC copy of this. I have not read it yet. I meant to read it in October. I was supposed to read it with my patrons, and like the month got away from me. Okay, please tell me why October was 2 seconds long. I don't understand how we are already in November. But yeah, this is the sequel to The Darkness Outside Us. In the linear timeline, it takes place, I think, 17 years after the end of The Darkness Outside Us. Obviously, if you read the first story, you know that like time is wibbly wobbly, and yeah, okay. I'm excited to see where we go from this, because I don't think that The Darkest Outside Us actually needed a sequel, but here we are. And then I got the second book in the Bonded by Thorns, the Beast of the Briar series, sorry. This is Bonded by Thorns is the first one. And so I picked up the second one in paperback. This is Woven by Gold. It's funny because I read Bonded by Thorns earlier in the year. I think for like a 72-hour readathon maybe? Question mark? I don't remember. I liked it, but nobody else was talking about the book, and so I kind of just like didn't continue on with the series. Now everyone is talking about it, and so now I have FOMO and I wanted to continue reading it. I skipped Aardvark in October, but I did get one book of the month. It was the Book of Witching by C.J. Cook. I really wanted to read this book during spooky season because it's stunning. It looks like a spooky season read. A mother must fight for her daughter's life in a fierce and haunting tale of witchcraft and revenge. Like, it would have been perfect, but I just had too many vlogs and it never made it. So we'll keep it on the shelf and we'll read it next spooky season. And then lastly, I picked up Air by Sabaa Tahir. This is the first book in a new series. I guess it's YA. I really thought it was a romantasy, to be honest. An orphan, an outcast, a prince, and a killer who will bring an empire to its knees. This is the same author who wrote An Ember in the Ashes. I think it takes place in the same world. However, I think that it is a standalone series. I'm not sure though. I need to do some more research because I haven't read An Ember in the Ashes yet. It's gonna happen at some point. It's on my TBR 2.0 card. I'm just hoping for that number to come up. What do you know? There's actually only 12 books that we are adding to the TBR, which means that our number is 217, which is down from where we started. Slowly but surely, right? Anyways, I feel like this felt like a lot more than it actually was, but I think it's just because I did a lot of special editions and like replacement books. Let me know if you're excited for me to read any of these, if I should like move them up to the top of my priority list, get them on the TBR before the end of the year. And if you are not feeling chatty, let's do a mountain emoji. If you look at this, this is a big mountain and that feels random. If you are interested in seeing how I'm planning on tackling my physical TBR and reading down the books that I own, I have a brand new TBR 2.0 episode right here if you've missed it. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!